Good morning, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I had a lovely weekend catching up with some beautiful ladies at my free make and takes on Saturday. So we were looking at the March online exclusive products, which this one is one of the products. So the Cutest Crew bundle, which is very cute. So this was the free make and take card that I demonstrated, and one of the free make and take cards that I demonstrated. So I thought, some of you weren't able to come along, that you might like to see how I made this one. Now, you might hear some drilling in the backyard. We're just having our pool fence put up. So please excuse the drilling, but I thought if I didn't do this now, I wasn't going to get a chance to share with you. So, yes, so as I was saying, this is from the March online exclusives. Now, when I say online exclusives, it doesn't mean that you can only order them online. You can still order through me if you want to place an order through me, or you can place your own online order. What the online means is that you can only see them online. These products aren't going to appear in a catalogue, so you can view them online. Now, I'll put a link above this video once I post this video, so that you can just click on the link and it will take you straight to the online exclusives, so you can see what the latest products are. Okay, so let's get making. So as you can see here, it's got some cute little sentiments. So just a little hello. It's got the little row of cats and then the little row of dogs and then these very cute little birds. And then it's got some lovely sentiments that go with it. And you've got the cute paw prints, the little claw prints, and you've got these tiny little flowers, the little butterflies, very cute little happy birthday. So it's a lovely little set. And then you've got the dies that come with it. So you've got the die that will cut out the complete row of cats, the complete row of dogs, the three little birds, and then you've got the separate little dies that will cut out the cats and the dogs, little row of flowers, the little tiny butterflies, and then you've got this row of paw prints, and then this really cool cutout here as well. So I can see that would look really good on mail cards. It would coordinate really well with the cogs and textures bundle as well. So I thought it was a really great bundle, and again, quite a versatile bundle. Then I've also used the Fabulous Sayings, which was the product of the month from January, and I've got a feeling it might still be available to choose. So when you spend $125, you can then pick a product of the month, which will cost you $9. So now that has to be ordered online yourself. You have to place your own order for that. So that's what I've used on here. So what I thought we might do first of all is stamp. This is the little puppies. So I'm going to do the little cats. And of course, I've forgotten my black ink. So just give me a sec and I'll grab my black ink, which I very quickly got. There's always something, isn't there? You sort of think, okay, I'm all set up. I've got everything I need. And then there'll be one thing that you forget. Oh, isn't it good that I've got my dining room table with all the stuff on it just round the corner. So we just stamp away our little cats, and then I'm going to use the the blender pen. So now you might have used the water painters before, which are great, but what I find is sometimes they get a little bit what I call floody. So a little bit too much water comes out, and especially when you're colouring in small areas like these little tiny butterflies here, I find this is where the blender pen really helps out, because you can be quite precise without the colour flooding out beyond the lines of your image. Now, I sometimes take things for granted. I was doing this technique with some of the girls over the weekend, and they were looking at this going, how in heaven's name did you get the colour on the ink pad, on the lid of the ink pad? What you do, if you don't already know, just give it a little pump between the beds of your thumbs, and the colour comes on, okay? So this is where we're going to pick up our colour from. So I'm not going to colour in everything. I'm just going to colour in the little butterfly. Now, am I colouring so that you can actually see it? So just colouring in the butterfly. So again, it's nice and precise. You can add like a little bit more colour to give it a little bit more depth if you want to. And then all you do to change colours is just scribble it out on your scrap paper. Now, I thought I might just colour in one of the pussycats for you. So I thought we might just do a little spotty cat. Well, sort of like a little smudgy cat. So what I'm going to do is just remembering, like the water brushes, the darkest part of your colour is going to come out first. So pick an area where you want the colour to be dark, and then as you continue, it will gradually blend out. So you can see there, it's quite dark around the ear, but then it's blended out. Okay, so I'll give him another little spot on his tail and on his little paw. Give him another bit of colour, and then another little bit of colour down there. And the rest of him can kind of be white. So there's our little pussycat coloured in. Okay, maybe just bleed that out a little bit more, and you can then go and add more colour in if you want to. So say you wanted to make those dark spotches a bit darker, you can then go and add some more colour in, and you want to just go nice and lightly. Don't press down really hard with these pens, because it will fray the end and then you won't have that nice tip. So always be gentle. You don't need to, it's a light touch rather than a heavy touch. So just touching down and just having a bit of a play. Okay, so there's our little pussycat. So then with the magic of film, we've got our little cat's die cut. So just close that up. Now, also, I'll just, for those who don't know how to open these ink pads, all you do, I got strong fingers, so I just pull that area apart, open, and then slide like a drawer. To close it, just push with at this end here and pull with that end there, and then you're just reversing the process and closing up. Now, if your thumbs aren't very strong, what you can do is just press on the edge, and that should automatically pop it up, and then you can just open and close. Now, the good news is the magnetic ink pads are on their way. So they've started to convert all the new ink colours that are coming out in May will be in a magnetic pad, which is very easily opened and closed. If anybody knows the Close to My Heart magnetic ink pads, they're basically exactly the same as those. So that's something that I'm looking forward to, and I know a lot of my crafty ladies are looking forward to that as well. So to die cut this out, all we do is lay the die cut on the image. I always, especially with long dies like this, I always put 2 pieces of washi tape on so that it doesn't move, because you've gone to the trouble of stamping and colouring. You want to make sure that you then die cut it nice and precisely so that it looks good, okay? And then put it through your die cutting machine. I've also cut the little paws, the little paw border out, and I've kept all the little hearts from the little paw to add to our card, okay? I've also embossed this piece already. So that was with the, I think it's called Stone and Vines, and that was in the January flyer. So again, all you're doing is getting your piece of cardstock, popping it into your folder, your embossing folder, and then putting it through your machine. So all we're going to do now is just grab our tape, which I'm sure I had here. Oh, there it is. So we'll use the tape. I like tape because it's a little bit, I'm a bit of a messy girl and I get mess everywhere. So now looking at this die, this embossing folder, it's quite cool either side. So you've got the deboss side there, or you've got the embossed side there. So both of them are very cool. So another technique, actually, let's try it. While we've got it here, let's see what it does. What we could do, now this might, with the grey cats, it might get lost. But again, it's just a piece of card, so let's play. So I'm just going to streak this on. So this is very, very gentle. Just slightly dragging, just gently dragging. So you can see there how it's now picking up those leaves and the edge of the stone. So to me that looks quite cool, but the question is, now see, we lose our cats on that a little bit, okay? So what we could do is take our tape off and put it on the debossed side, which I think that's what I'm going to do. So if we peel, that tape's actually peeling off quite nicely. Because it's debossed, it's not sticking down really well. So I'm just going to stick it on the other side. And that's something to remember too, is that if you don't like one side, it's always worth a play to experiment to see if something's going to work. That would look great if we had something different going on it. But because our colours of our cats are basically the same as the grey, well, it is the same grey that we've used, Pebble Path, which is an old ink that's been retired, which I absolutely love, and I can't stop using it. We can now use the debossed side, okay? So experiment, play around. That's how you discover things and techniques that you can use at other times. I do love a bit of a play. So we're just going to line that up. Now, what happens, because the stone and vines die it has a deep impression, it's a real 3D. Even though I've measured this exactly, the white card is actually going to become a little bit shorter, but I don't mind if the green is a little bit longer, so that's fine. You could, if you were really wanting it to be the same border all the way around, you could just trim off a little squidge, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now, we're going to just put on some of our dimensionals. So I like to, and again, remember when you use your dimensionals that you've got all these border pieces here. So you don't just, you can take from the middle, but I make sure that you use up these border pieces. So you're just going to cut, I just cut them. So I think 4 bits will be enough for that. So just placing them kind of evenly along the die cut. And what I always suggest is that you pop them on without, not on the very edge, because you want to make it look as if this piece is floating. Now, I'm not going to put that on just yet because I want to put the I want to put this bordered die on first. So what I'm going to do is have our card here. I'm just going to fold it in half. Then when you fold it in half, it often flips up at you. So grab your trusty bone scorer and make sure you're just using the edge against the point there and give it a good press down. Because when that's sitting flat, especially because we're going to stamp on this now, you want it to be sitting nice and flat when you're stamping. So we'll grab our happy birthday stamp. Just going to ink it up. And then we can put that on so that we've got an idea of where we want to stamp down, and then just give it a good press down. No need for rocking, just firm pressure straight down and up. So then it's just tape on the back of our green piece. And again, if you don't have fingernails, this is where you take your pick comes in really handy as well, is just popping it in at an angle. So not straight down, but at an angle, and just picking up the backing of those, of the tape. Then just centering that piece. Taking off your backing of your dimensionals. Oh, we were going to put our border piece on first. So this is where I'm just going to run a little bit of glue, because when you put this on, these pieces are going to hang over the edge. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of the dimensionals. So just a thin bit on the end, so we can just cut a little piece here from our border section and just put on the very end, and then that way that'll make it even. And then just going to drizzle on a little bit of glue, just a bit random. It doesn't have to be on every section, but just drizzle it around a bit. You can see there I've just drizzled it around, and then just popping that, oops, better take the backing off, hey. So just taking the backing off those 2 bits of mounting tape, and then popping it evenly on, pressing down, and then we can just add our little piece just slightly over the top of our little border. So that's our little card. I thought I'll show you another little set of cards that I've done using the same stamp set. So this is I think it's called a swing card. So these are workshops that I'll have coming up at home. So that's the little swing card. This is just a little ordinary one. And this one has just got the little, it's a little gatefold card. Oh, not gatefold quite, but it's got the little section there that just holds it in. So you can just flip that in there. That's the cute little birdies. Okay, so I hope you have the rest of your day goes smoothly. I'd love to hear what you think. And cats or puppy dogs, what do you prefer? Oh, I didn't show you the little hearts. So to grab the little hearts on, again, I'm not going to do every one, but when I'm using little things, I tend to put down a dot of glue here and there. So I'll just show you 3. This again is where the take your pick comes in very handy. So all you're doing is pressing down with the putty end. So pressing down, and then on the dot, place your little heart. So just picking it up, popping on the dot, using your fingernail to hold down, and then take your pick away. There's another little heart there. Whoops. There we go. On your stick. So there's 3 of the little hearts there. So I'm not going to show you all. It'll just continue on. So remember to save your hearts from your paw prints. Okay. Happy crafting, crafty ladies, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.